Starlink threw it all on the line and said, we're going to provide fast, reliable, and affordable internet out on the road where other providers can't reach. But after 6 months of owning Starlink, we have some other information to bring you.
In this video, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of having Starlink internet and how RVers are just getting stuck in the middle of it all.
I think we should also share a controversial opinion, who should actually be avoiding Starlink. But we're going to get into that here in a minute. Oh, I forgot to mention, Thanks Hanks is back.
And this time we're doing hats. You guys remember our Thanks Hanks shirts? Well, if you want to complete your collection, you're gonna need to jump on this because these are only available for a short time. For every hat sold, we're donating $1 to Family Reach again, and it is an organization that helps support families facing cancer financially.
With us being travel nurses, we really love giving to that, and we just want to be a part of it with you guys.
So on Monday, May 29th, the sale ends and they are no longer available.
If you need more details, you can look in the description below, or you can visit our website at happilyeverhanks.com and everything will be laid out perfectly there for you. Now, before jumping directly into everything you need to know about Starlink, I think it would be a little unfair to not discuss further options that are available to you out on the road, what we've been using, what's worked for us in the past, and what definitely has not worked for us.
Basically, your main options are cellular, local Wi-Fi, or satellite.
Now, us personally, starting off with cellular, this bad boy right here has come into play so much while we've been out on the road. It provides us with a hotspot, which basically means the phone acts as our Wi-Fi.
The internal SIM card has its own data plan.
Because these cell phones and the hotspots that they provide strictly run off those cell phone towers. Now, there are some cons that come to using the phone as well for some internet, but we'll get back into that in a minute. Let's talk about some pros of using the actual cell phone as a hotspot.
A big one for me is you can use it while we're driving. So we can connect to the hotspot while one of us is towing and driving down the road, and as long as you have cell service, we have internet.
Another perk of using your phone as a hotspot is it doesn't take any installation at all. When you buy the phone, you basically already have an integrated hotspot within the cell phone ready to use. One of the biggest frustration and cons of using the cell phone, however, is when you leave your RV, devices that were originally connected to that cell phone all of a sudden become disconnected because you're taking that source away from the RV. It's just not there anymore.
Yeah, so if you wanted a way to track temperature or have a security camera or other things that run off Wi-Fi, it's kind of a no-go. I would say another thing that is unfortunate is most cell phone data plans have a limit of gigabytes, and you know, gigabytes go fast.
The other thing that I really dislike about using the cell phone as a hotspot is it chews through the battery like no tomorrow, and it puts more wear and tear on it than you think possible.
Just know that it's very normal to chew through a couple hundred gigabytes of data a month, especially if you stream TV, and I think most people out there like to stream and watch TV now. Keep that in mind when the service provider is like, 50 gigs, here you go. And you're like, well, the Hanks told me that that's not a lot. And you're right.
Oh, now that I'm thinking of it, while we're talking about cellular, another option of cellular data is a thing called like a Peplink router.
So we want to bring up the Pepwave or the Peplink because it's another way to use cellular data as internet. It's pretty neat because it's an actual router that the SIM cards go inside, and that becomes your home internet device, which solves the issue of not having it on your phone if you leave.
Nailed it.
The reason we're going over all this is so you can circle back to this when we tell you that you might not be a good fit for Starlink. So just remember all this. How about when the RV park says they have free Wi-Fi?
Trust us, trust us, trust us. If you do anything with internet out on the road, do not rely on the RV park Wi-Fi.
I think the RV park Wi-Fi used to be good, and it used to work great until all this streaming came into play.
And more people started joining the RV life as well, and now it became a competitive game of who gets all the internet data.
You know what's a good tip? I'm gonna share this before we move on, is that if you have decent RV park Wi-Fi, maybe it's only at the office, you can usually go in with your computer and download like TV show episodes or movies and then watch it later, like plug in
bed.
Yeah, or wherever, your couch or your bed. All right, Starlink, here we go.
Let's talk about some pros of Starlink, but first of all, we'll cover some basics as well.
Basically how it works. Like, why is Starlink different than all the things we just went over?
Yeah, that's covered under the basics. What Starlink is, it's a satellite internet connection. This device that you carry along with you is going to be speaking to the satellites up in space.
There's lasers bouncing.
So when you go to buy your Starlink kit for your RV, it comes with a few things. It comes with the Starlink dish itself, comes with a router, and it comes with a cord that goes from here to the moon. Just kidding. It basically comes with a 75-foot cord that connects to the router, but it's nice to have that extra length and cord because you can move the actual dish wherever you want it to be.
Really far away.
We'll get more into that later. Starlink has been a great option for RVers out there on the road who are looking for on-the-go connectivity. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because we could be in the middle of the desert and hooking up to the internet up in space. So some pros of having a Starlink is it is unlimited data. You're never gonna have to reach a threshold and then once you go past that, start paying extra. It just doesn't exist.
Unlimited data with minimal latency. I mean, that's a big thing that they stress with Starlink. Like, that's why it's so special. I mean, this is one of the biggest pros for us is the no cell service, no problem.
Yeah, that's huge.
We've been places where our hotspot is like, could barely get a signal. Our cell phones could barely get a signal. And we're like, what are we gonna do?
But the beauty of where Starlink shines is it allows you to have that option out there.
And sometimes it's where the campgrounds are awesome, or you're in the mountains. Do you follow the beauty, or do you follow the cell service?
Great question.
Now we don't have to worry about it.
One little fun pro about Starlink is you were talking about mountains. When we recently visited Rio Doso in New Mexico, it was snowing there. And a cool feature of the Starlink is it has a heating element built into it that prevents ice and snow buildup on the dish. So that's really cool. You don't have to worry about freezing. I've heard through the grapevine that it could survive temperatures up to -20 degrees.
What?
I don't know if that's 100% true, but I definitely know we were in below zero and it was working just fine.
Also, it does pretty good in wind.
It really does. It's a heavier device, but it seats like on a stand and it has a good width about it, so you don't really have to worry about it blowing over. In this past 6 months, however, there has been quite a few cons that we need to discuss, so let's get into the juicy details.
You mean to tell me that Starlink's not the answer to all of our problems?
No.
You know how we talked about how amazing it is having Starlink in the middle of nowhere in the desert? That comes with the price, because you have to be able to plug in your Starlink into a plug. Meaning, you have to have shore power or a system where you have your batteries run from an inverter so you can plug stuff in. I guess you can also plug it into a generator, but then you have to run the generator like 24 hours.
So what does this mean for the average RVer out there? This means that if you would just go buy an RV off the lot and take it out in the middle of the desert, you're gonna have no way of hooking up the Starlink. It needs power. Another thing with these Starlink packages is just buying the basic package itself is over $600. It's super pricey.
And the monthly fee.
That keeps going up in price.
And like you said, we have the base plan and the base model, so it only goes up from there.
Yeah, just recently they increased their pricing from $135 a month to $150 a month. So you can see as it's becoming more popular, demand is going up, so is pricing as well. Now diving deeper into some bigger cons of owning the Starlink is signal can be spotty. When you show up to a campground, if there's like small twigs or branches, let alone the big honkers of trees that are everywhere, you're gonna have disruptions within your internet connection.
Gone are the days that you want sites with trees.
Imagine a satellite up there 300 miles above Earth's atmosphere, and I think they're like traveling at 16,000 miles an hour.
Ooh.
You could see how quickly it's gonna go out of view of the actual dish itself. Yeah. As that goes out of view and there's not a lot of satellites up there, signal could get very spotty very quickly.
Ugh.
So anything like a tree, a twig, whatever can disrupt your internet connection. For prolonged periods of time, we've had internet go out for like over a minute before.
Yeah.
During important things.
Yeah.
When you go into high populated areas, like we were just in Ocala, Florida, oh my goodness. In the winter time where all the RVers go.
It works great in the middle of the desert, but in a congested city, not so much. That's where the cell signal for your hotspot, like we talked about, comes in clutch.
Yeah.
So having that backup is really good.
Recently, where I said you don't max out on the data itself, well, this is where deprioritizing your data comes into play. If you're in a congested area, they will actually put you on a lower scale or slow down your internet speeds to accommodate for everyone in the area.
Yeah, and it's not that they're trying to deprioritize you on purpose. It's just that the people who have the standard residential, doesn't move Starlink, they get priority on their speeds because they're awesome, I guess.
And of course, like everything else, the more you pay, the more you get. So there are options out there that you can pay for higher speeds, but that's more money.
But you know what's cool, what I read, is that you can start and stop these services at any time, and you could do it all through the app or on the online version. You do it over the app, and maybe you're in an area that's really congested for just a month. You can get that priority access for like a one-time thing and then go back to your standard plan.
Awesome.
Yeah. Another issue with Starlink, and this is depending on what kind you have, is that you cannot use it while moving. You have to purchase the specific dish, and it's like $2,500. It gets mounted on top of your RV, so more weight, and you can use the internet while you drive. Before we go into the people who should maybe avoid Starlink, let's tell you guys kind of our setup with Starlink.
We have something called a Pole Buddy, which mounts onto like a 2-inch aluminum pole. It is right on the back ladder here, which is a great thing to have, but it's like an extra $100 to buy this Pole Buddy. It does not come with a Starlink. If you just buy a Starlink right out of the box, they provide you with that little stand I was talking about before, and it allows you to move that stand outside anywhere that has no trees.
You should just try that out first. If you're gonna ever get Starlink and you want to see how it goes, I would not buy all the extra accessories. Don't go crazy.
We don't even have it mounted on the pole right now because we're under a massive tree. We have it on the stand that it came with on top of the roof in the front.
If there was a tree over there too, we would have to just go put it out in the open with the 5,000 foot extension cord it comes with.
How does it work then? How do you plug it in? Well, it plugs into that Starlink, as we said, up on the roof. We'll have to run that cord down and in through a slide out. It's not ideal, but it's the only way we can get the cord in here into the modem without having to drill holes within the RV. So that's another miniature con that we've noticed. It's kind of a pain in the butt to set up and take down each time we have to go somewhere.
We actually had to add a couple extra steps to our setup and takedown. So like before we put the kitchen slide all the way out, he'll feed the cord through the slide out. I'll make sure it's flush on the bottom, and then we put the rest of the slide out.
As you can see behind me, it's not a pretty setup. I mean, look at all these cords running out of it. This is what we're talking about. One of them is plugged into the power source and one is running outside through the slide out. So it's not super clean looking. It's not cute by any means. That puppy right there is the router, by the way.
So who should maybe avoid getting Starlink? I'm just gonna say, and I'll explain why, people who are RVing primarily in the southeast.
Why do you say that, Nene?
You know, the eastern side of the United States is already heavily populated compared to the west. And on top of that, RVers are more densely populating that area as well.
Especially the southeast, like Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas.
Also, the trees. There's more trees there. And then, like we said, trees can cause major obstructions.
We were just recently in Ocala, Florida, and we were doubting, huge regrets about owning Starlink. But as we made our way out west here, the speeds miraculously increased like 3-4-fold.
Yeah, the population went down a little bit, and then it's just more open, more desolate areas. Basically what we're saying is Starlink works great in rural, desolate areas.
If you're enjoying this type of content and you're craving more of it, don't worry, we have tons more starting with these videos right here. We'll see you on next week's video. Love you guys.
Bye guys.